the crowd. My palm got the itch. Fish scale, business, yeah, dope lit. Fish scale, fish scale, fish scale, yeah. Fish scale, fish scale, fish scale, yeah.
Alright, hello and what's up everybody? Welcome to another Fish Scale official interview. Just kind of introduce yourself, man. Who are you with?
What's up? It's Jack Wavy, keep it wavy, baby. Representing Denver out here. What's good?
Super dope. So kind of just getting straight into it, man. Just tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and just like all that type of stuff.
Yeah, so I'm from Denver, Colorado. Grew up here. Really got into hip hop. Started breakdancing. Was like a b-boy for a short time. Then got taught about like the pillars of hip hop. So learned about like the graffiti, the MC, and all that stuff. So I really got into that scene growing up. Yeah. I don't know, for where I'm from, I don't know much more than that. I was in Missouri for 2 years, in St. Louis, working with some people down there, but now we're back in Denver, trying to get it popping in Denver, and yeah, working here.
Dope. So kind of compare the two cultures. You said you were out in St. Louis, Missouri, kind of in that area. Kind of compare the culture out there compared to the culture out here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not completely an expert about out there, but what I can tell you, like, there's the Midwestern flow, so there's a lot of that old school kind of like nasally stuff going on, and it's also close to the South, so you get a lot of those influences there. There's obviously like legends in STL, like Nelly and stuff, so that's really cool to be in a scene, be around that, and learn from them. Denver is really interesting because it's a mixed scene. There's a lot of EDM, there's a lot of like rock, there's a lot of other things here, and the hip hop scene isn't first and foremost usually, but it's a really new scene and it's a growing scene, and it's one that we can really do something with and make an impact with. And the way I see it is like whenever a city gets on, the whole city gets on. Like for the people who are really have their business right and are doing things right, like Atlanta, when Atlanta got on, it was all of those artists. Chicago, all of those artists. So I think really doing that with Denver, supporting each other, putting each other on, and collaboration with those other scenes and the mixing of genres that happens here more so, is a really crazy sound and a really cool movement that is dope to be a part of.
Oh yeah, for sure. So how did you like kind of first get into hip hop? Because just as you were saying, I feel like out here in Denver, people maybe of like your same demographic would like definitely lean toward the EDM scene and things like that. So like, what made you like really into hip hop as opposed to EDM or maybe any other genre?
Yeah, definitely. So I can appreciate all the music, but for hip hop, I know the first thing I ever heard was my older brother was playing some Eminem when I was really young, and I was like, I heard it and I really liked it. It was something I gravitated towards, and so that's kind of where I got down that lane. I've always been musical, love music. Hip hop really started with me with breaking, like breakdance music. The break drums are like, I think really an influence on trap drums, a lot of things like that. And yeah, so I did breakdance for a little while, kind of fell out on that. And then the way I started rapping really was just freestyling with friends, like messing around. Ironically enough, in an art class where we would get yelled at every single time for freestyling, which I think is just, no, I don't think, it is another form of expression and it is art, so it's kind of ridiculous for your art teacher to get mad at you for that. But yeah, I just kind of honed it. It'd be like, not a party trick, but like just for fun or just in the car by myself with the homies, freestyling, kind of refining that. And then kind of late my senior years when I really started trying to take things serious, started recording music. My homie Rock, RIP, he got me into it, he got me in the studio, and so that kind of kicked it all off.
Dope. So kind of like, how long have you been like rapping?
It's a good question. Probably like seriously like 2-3 years now, so not a super long time. It's really great to be in the beginning of it where you can improve every single time and you can make a great song and then you can make another song and it's even better, and you make that next song and it's better, and it's just constantly like refining that craft and getting better at it. That's one of the things that I really love.
Most definitely. So, like, how would you maybe describe your sound to someone who hasn't necessarily listened to your music yet?
Yeah, so it's definitely an interesting sound. It's a good sound. I have a lot of like different influences. EDM, obviously, growing up in Denver, you get influenced by that. I grew up on classic rock from my dad, so I love to really go crazy with the production. I like to get guitars, get that rock influence in there, synths and things like that, get some more EDM. Vocally, I'm really inspired with, well, production-wise, I'm really inspired by how Kanye uses human vocals as an instrument.
Right.
So I really love just like experimenting with production, seeing how you can change the human voice, using samples of audio of people talking or singing or something, and making that part of the beat is something that I really like to incorporate. And then just kind of overall that, it's clever, witty lyrics. I like to keep it lighthearted, go crazy sometimes, but there's also a lot of very autobiographical stuff, so like personal things, like stories, like just emotions and like things like that.
Okay, dope. Yeah, I love that on Runaway, Kanye West, where he like manipulates his voice to make it sound like an electric guitar.
Absolutely.
That shit's so sick.
Yep, it's a lot of people don't know about that. But yeah, he takes that solo, somebody singing, and he distorts it so much that most people think it is an electric guitar solo. So that's even that particularly is one of those things that I looked at, and like there's Juice WRLD songs where they get like the Saturn reverb on it and they make it like a guitar, and then when he goes they make it like the I don't know anything about guitar, but like the slapping of the guitar, or like the strings and things like that. So people are always just adding on to it and creating more, and that's one of the great things about Denver is people here really like are creating a new sound.
For sure. I feel like it's wide open where like you can kind of shape the sound of the city just depending, because there's not really a specific sound, so you can kind of do whatever and it'll be the sound. Right,
and I mean we are carving it out. There's a lot of people putting in really good work. I guess we'll get to that later, but yeah, it's definitely something that I love, that we can grow this culture and we can shape it how we want. And not only that, but the fans, the people listening, the people who are into hip hop, they can really pick it and they can say, oh, we like this, oh, maybe we're not rocking with this, and that kind of guides it. And I want it to be the point where it's like they have that Atlanta sound, they have the Chicago sound. And not that everything should sound the same, but like I want people to hear it and be like, oh, that's coming out of Denver. That's what they're doing out there, and they're doing work out there.
For sure. Like as far as the sound goes, I feel like there's a little bit of a split. I feel like I don't want to say older rappers, but like the
more underground for sure. I think there's a lot of crazy lyricists. There's a lot of culture that goes with that. There's a lot of history and stuff that's like really dope, and they all move a certain way. And then I think pop, like the pop rap lane, kind of with that EDM influence and more guitars and like kind of things like that, I think is another kind of sound that comes out of here. For sure.
So kind of just going back to like your music personally, what like would you say there's a certain song or there's a certain moment like in these past like couple years where you're like, okay, I know I'm dope, like I need to go full in with this?
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of have to be delusional and believe in yourself a crazy amount just to get into this, start doing it. I mean, the stigma of a SoundCloud rapper, everybody hates on a SoundCloud rapper, and that's the first place you're ever going to put your music. So you really got to have a lot of confidence already in it to go into music. So it's not that a particular song or something like that made me really think I'm dope, but I did have a track, Scooby Snacks, and the moment that something really clicked for me was I was performing it on stage and I had the crowd, and the words that I wrote, everybody was singing them back, and the whole room was just like a choir of everybody singing the chorus. And that was a moment where I was really like, this is what I need to be doing and this is where I'm at.
Dope. I bet that's a super dope feeling.
Yeah, a lot of my friends who are also artists talk about it like it's the best drug you'll ever have, because being on stage is taking that dream that you had and you're making it real. Like that, and the songs and the emotions that you feel and you have, like you're bringing those into the world and you're creating that for other people. It's just great. Like, after my first show, I was like tripping off of it, and I told my friend, like, oh man, I'm so like high off this adrenaline, like
Right.
I feel so crazy, and he was like, oh, you're gonna feel like that all night. And all the other artists on the show were like, oh yeah, you'll keep feeling that way, and I was like, nah, there's no way, like that's ridiculous. That whole night is like a blur of just craziness. Like it's a weird feeling, but it's great.
Nice. Okay. So kind of what's the first song people should look up just right after they listen to, or see this interview?
Yeah, so I have a ton of new stuff coming out for Wavy Season 1. All that stuff's incredible. I love being at a point where I can say all of my new stuff is a million times better than anything you've ever heard. Not that any of my old stuff isn't, but I've just grown so much. That's kind of the dichotomy of it. But Scooby Snacks, absolutely. That's the one that I was performing at the show. It has kind of like that clanging Jay-Z style piano. It's a song I really wrote, like, it's not super serious, but it's very heartfelt. It's just about like hanging out in the car, got nothing else to do. You're just with your friends, you're on a road trip, you're just parked somewhere. It's just really about that, and it's a great vibe. It's a banger, super catchy. So check Scooby Snacks out for sure.
Dope. Is that song named after the Strands Scooby Snacks or after like the actual Scooby Snacks?
So neither, actually.
Okay.
I think obviously art is open to people's interpretation, so it's
For
like
sure.
however somebody else views it, who am I to say, nah, it isn't. When I originally thought of it though, there's like a term when you're smoking, if something comes through and it gets in your mouth,
Yeah, you got Scooby.
you got a Scooby snack.
Okay.
And so yeah, that's where the name came from. I wrote the hook a super long time ago, had it in my notes forever, had no faith in it. I was like, this is some whack, goofy shit, like I'm never gonna use this, and it ended up becoming something really amazing. So
Nice. That's super dope. All right, man. So, like, what are some of the places in the city that you like to record at?
GBL, Get Busy Living Studios. So I started there with Nick and ZA, and I was recording there. That's where I like learned to record, like just all those basic things that like you don't even know when you just start out. And then I was working with Tim Hansen out of North Village, who he's really, really incredible. He's a great producer. I love recording with him. He's a wizard. He's out in Missouri. Tim Hansen is out in Missouri. And then back here, I'm working with a producer out of the Harmacy Collective, Digital Daydream. And he's been producing since he was like 11. He's super crazy with it. So I love recording with him and stuff. And also there's just like a couple friends who have just a nice setup in their home. So sometimes I'll go over there, track something out, and then take it in to a producer to work on it.
Okay, dope. So kind of just going off of that, what are some of the like other artists in the city that you have worked with that you kind of like working with?
Yeah, definitely. So I love Mitch the Hero. He was a big mentor to me early on. Really brought me in and like taught me a lot of stuff. So he's super dope. He has a really nice sound. When me and him write together, we make really crazy stuff. I love working with him. The Harmacy Collective, those guys are really dope. The energy there is sick. Love working with them. And in the city, there's a lot of people doing great stuff. I mean, I could even just like rattle off names, but there's people who are like really making big moves. Like you got your Trev Rich, you got your, they call him AP, like kind of sign dudes. There's people who are just like really, really sick with it, that are plugged into the scene, like PH Wax, J Triple. I'm always trying to meet more people, network with people, collaborate with people. So I always want to grow the culture and meet more people. But there's a ton of dope people that you can check out from Denver, from Colorado. Honestly, Mile High Minute has a great top 20 video. A lot of people are included in there. A lot of people aren't. So I just say, do your own kind of research. Check out all the channels like Fishscale Media. Check out all the culture kind of blogs, things like that. And just really get plugged in and find the artists that you like. Because the sound here is so diverse that you're gonna find somebody that you like if you look for it.
Yeah, most definitely. I definitely have range of sounds, whether it be like more like your auto tune future type sound, or whether it be like your like more trap sound, or it's kind of really all over the place.
Yeah, and I mean that's one of the great things. It's not necessarily like, oh, if you're here in Atlanta, you're only going to hear this Atlanta sound, and that's really what's going on, and that's what everybody's trying to emulate. I like that instead of just trying to copy a sound and saying, oh, this is the Denver sound, we got to do the Denver sound, that we can take sounds that we like from other styles and other things like that, and we can create the Denver sound rather than trying to recreate the Denver sound, if that makes sense.
Most definitely, most definitely. Shoot, where are some of your favorite places to perform in the city? I know kind of Corona messed a lot of things up, but like previously.
Yeah, so man, I personally don't think I've performed at enough places to give a great answer on that. What I can tell you is venues I absolutely love to perform at and that I love going to. Red Rocks, obviously one of the greatest in the world. Fiddler's Green, I love that they have the general admission is the grass. I go there like the Snoop Dogg 420 retreat each year and things like that. Concerts there are just super dope. I like the way they do their general admission there. And then there's a lot of really good places, like smaller places, Lost Lake, Black Box, Cervantes. It's hard to just think of them off top.
All right, man. Just kind of getting back into it. Would you say you have any like influences when it comes to music or just creatively in general?
Yeah, definitely. I love Eminem, first rapper I ever heard. So the lyricism of that really inspired me because you can listen to some of his old songs and every time you hear a new thing and you're like, oh my God, the wordplay is crazy on that. I never knew that has another meaning. So I really love that. Snoop Dogg, honestly, actually I'm wearing Snoop Dogg. But like for the bounce and just like the vibe and honestly just like the swag of a rapper and all that, Snoop Dogg totally encompasses that. I love him. And on like the creativity kind of side, like the genius and everything, Kanye West, whatever you want to say about him personally with whatever's going on, I think he's the most influential artist of the 21st century. His production style, his writing style, all of those things have really shaped music and like paved lanes for people that I see now. Everybody is just kind of adapting those things, and those things are the norm. Like I remember with 808s and Heartbreaks, with the auto-tune vocals and stuff, everybody was like, Kanye's so whack for this. What the heck is this and everything. And now you have Travis Scott and you have those people who have pursued that lane and they've taken it to that next level and they've adapted it. So I think those three are really influential.
But yeah, man, I agree. I think Kanye is definitely one of the most influential when it comes to musically, just creatively in general, because like whether it be like his fashion or just like just him in general, I just feel like he's a very genuine person and just like he's just like a stream of just creativity at all times, it feels like.
Yeah, for sure. And on extremes, I think Lil Wayne really as well for the work ethic is crazy. Like Jay-Z releases every 4 years or whatever, minus that whole period with Birdman screwing up Lil Wayne and everything. He was releasing like 4 projects a year, and there aren't really that many Lil Wayne projects where you can be like, oh, that's a bad project or anything. Like his output and his work ethic is really inspiring, and the fact that he's been on since he was like 14 years old up until now, and he's created great music over that entire span, that's something really inspiring to me as well.
Most definitely, most definitely. So kind of just switching it up, what about the business side of things? Do you have any influences on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started out not knowing anything, just trying random stuff, like all by myself, trying to do research on the internet, find things out. The first real mentor I had on the business side was Mitch the Hero. He taught me a lot of stuff, kind of brought me into that. Then in Missouri, I linked up with Scrub. He's been doing the game for a long time, super genuine guy, super inspiring creativity and everything. Like great Nipsey Hussle, a quote about Nipsey Hussle for his birthday recently. That somebody said he was spending more time learning the business and on his computer trying to figure out the next move, scheming, planning, than he really was in the studio. And I love to be in the studio. I always want to create new stuff, make that music, write it, freestyle, whatever. But whenever I'm not, I'm trying to research as much as I can, find out what I can, not just for me, but to really grow it for everybody else, to teach it to other people, so we can really bring the whole scene up, bring the whole community up, and have everybody just level up.
Definitely, that's super dope. So kind of just what's next for you? What are some of the things you have in the works?
Yeah.
I know you were just saying like you're kind of getting a team together and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're pulling together a superstar team for a new project that we're getting going. It's going to be a media channel. We're putting everybody on Colorado culture, skaters, graffiti artists, break dancers, MCs, rappers, other kind of musicians. Really just trying to increase that culture, get everybody to know each other, give everybody that more exposure, and really give fans and people a place to go where they can easily say, this is what's going on in the city, this is the pulse of Denver, this is really what's happening. So that's going to be incredible. The most important thing that you can do right now is follow me, Jack Wavy Music, on all of my socials. I'm going to drop all the details there. And we're going to have jackwavy.com up and running probably by the time this video drops. So we have all that. I have Wavy Season 1, an entire year of music videos, merch, the website, all of that stuff planned out. So as soon as that starts, it's going to go really crazy. So keep an eye out for that. Follow me, Jack Wavy Music, and just watch out for that new music. It's really incredible. I'm really proud to be putting out something that is so good and that we really have it. The business is right, the money is right, the music is right, all that stuff. So everything coming up in the future is going to be really great. So be ready for that media channel, be ready for the new music. Yeah.
Dope. That's super dope. Where did you kind of get that idea? Where did that just spark?
Yeah, so the whole inspiration for it for me is like, I like to say that we make fake music. Like, we're not a real artist, whatever. We don't have a real record label. We're not recording in a big fancy studio. We're recording in the homies' studio. Like, we're not supposed to be making the music that's really on. We're not supposed to be making that culture, making that sound. But that fake music is really, there's no fake, there's no bullshit. It's really the most genuine music. It's the best music. And expanding that idea, I just want everybody to be able to grow the culture and to get put on. So I just really think what's good for the culture is what's good for you. Like, I don't understand jealousy when people are getting mad that somebody's doing something better than, like, they had a bigger show than me in the city. Everything for the city is good for you if you're somebody in the city working on it. And also, I think a big thing is the fans here. We have fans and we have a great city and we have an amazing culture. We just have to show them the way, and we have to show them this is how we really support an artist. This is how we come out to the shows. This is how we tell people about what's happening in Denver, the amazing music that's being created here. So I just really wanted to create that channel where we can get all those kinds of people, like the b-boys, the graffiti artists, the rappers, get everybody together, get everybody collaborating, working together, helping each other, and just really growing what we have in this city.
Super dope. Yeah, that I feel like the city really needs that. So
yeah.
So big ups to you, man. I'll definitely be following.
Yeah, and shout out to you, man. I mean, there's a lot of people doing great stuff already. Fishscale Media, Mile High Minute, Barbershop.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff that if you really look for it, you can definitely find some great stuff that's happening in the city. And we're really perched on, not a cliff because that'd be a bad thing, but we're really ready to go, and we're kind of at that tipping point where I see people are making some bigger moves. I Can't Breathe Again, that song, great song.
Right, shout out Easy.
Yeah, all that stuff, like the media that they're getting for that, obviously a great cause and a great song. I think that's a big move that's coming out of the city right now. I think that the things Trevorish, they call him AP, all these kind of flagship artists, if you will, for like the Denver scene, I think they're really starting to become more mainstream artists. Like, it's hard to say, oh, who's your favorite big artist out of Colorado? Like, we have 303, we have Flowbots, but there's amazing, incredible talent here. There's amazing music coming out of here. We just need the city to get behind it and rally around it and really push it.
Most definitely, I for sure agree with that. So kind of just on the visual side of things, you said he kind of has some music videos in the like ready to drop. What videographers are you fucking with? Like who's shooting all your stuff and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm always peeping good stuff in the city. There's a lot of videographers doing dope stuff out here. The particular video that I'm really excited for, it's with Nathan Ross Murphy. So the music video I'm really excited for, I'm working with Nathan Ross Murphy. He's an award-winning filmmaker. It's a really great concept. I wanted to do something more than a common music video where it's like, I got bitches and they're dancing and I got the homies and they're chilling around me and we're up to some shit. Like, not that there's anything wrong with that. That just ain't for me. I wanted to put a story in it, put a story behind it, have it be cinematic, have it be something that really Colorado can be like, wow, these music videos that are coming out of here, like, this is next level, this is high quality, and just something that's entertaining, that makes you laugh, that makes you enjoy watching it, enjoy sharing it with somebody. So,
for sure, I feel like the visuals are super important for the culture because they're just like showing what's really going on, like in Colorado.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. So is there anything else you want to speak on or touch on or anything like that?
Yeah, can't think of a lot. One question people might want to know is just like, why should I care about Jack Wavy? Why should I do this and stuff? And it's, the music is really amazing, and it's like I'm trying to connect with people and I'm really putting those emotions out there, and we're creating incredibly sounding music sonically. But really why you should fuck with Jack Wavy is, it's not just Jack Wavy, it's the whole city, it's Colorado, it's the scene that we're growing and we're working on. And if you're not supporting it now, you're gonna be that guy where other people are talking about it later and you're gonna be like, oh, I heard about that, but I wasn't really rocking with it. Or honestly, you'll probably say, oh yeah, I knew back then, Jack Wavy and all that stuff. But yeah, I think it's really, people should care about it because you should care about Colorado, you should care about good music, you should care about supporting local artists, all that stuff, so.
For sure. Well, man, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you reaching out and all that type of stuff. I think this was super dope.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I love it.
For sure. Well, man, keep doing your thing.
Yeah, and check out, we'll get an interview for Fish Scale Media on our channel as well.
Dope.
My paw got the itch. Fish scale business, yeah, don't look.